Has anyone experienced and could maybe shed some light on why my women friends seemingly distanced themselves after a breakup? Did they hang out with just you, or with you and your ex together? If it's the latter, they might not have been as close to you as you thought they were. Otherwise, it's possible that your ex is misrepresenting how the breakup happened. But you should probably just ask. If they were your friends, they at least owe you an explanation. So couple things. You weren't as good as friends as you thought you were. If they were your ex-friends first, they've weighed that they'd rather keep being friends with her than you. They no longer see you as safe since now you're single, and for whatever reason it makes you appear less desirable and likely to try and ask them out, or worse. Women kind of have this response, and it makes sense. They were only comfortable being your friend, so long as they knew you weren't going to approach them in a romantic way. Your ex and her friends have been talking about you and spreading rumors. People talk. Women talk about this stuff to their friends a lot. So expect all kinds of assumptions being made about you from what only your ex has said about you. If you're a man, it's probably because being single makes you feel less safe. They are worried you're going to hit on them. One thing you might do is ask them to hang out somewhere public and suggest that you guys could wingman for each other. That suggests that you're just platonic friends, that you'll help her find men and she can help you find women. Few things. First point, when you're friends with a couple and they break up, it can be really awkward to continue to be friends with both of them. It's natural to pick one person to continue being friends with and distance yourself from the other person. Your former friends probably just picked your ex-girlfriend. It could be because they are more sympathetic to her side of the story. It could be just that they were always closer with her. Also, it might not necessarily be anything you did wrong. Because of the second point, it can be really awkward to be friends with a single guy. The friendship dynamic before was that you were taken. You most likely were never going to make a move on your women friends, and if you did, it would be universally understood as the slimiest of behaviors and probably end with your girlfriend dumping you. Furthermore, they could be more relaxed around you and not feel the need to police themselves so much to not come off as flirtatious. As a taken man, you came with a level of safety, but now that you're single, your female friends might feel like spending time one-on-one with you could easily be misconstrued as flirting. They might think you no longer view them as friends, but rather as potential people to date. So they're pulling away. As a girl, I wouldn't hang out with my friend's ex unless he was family. I can't say there's no world in which I would, but that just feels like such a breach in the cis code. Would you text and hang out with your friend's ex-girlfriend? I can see a few of different possibilities. Maybe they are more friends with your ex than they are with you. Maybe you were there as a safe dude, who they could talk to without worrying that you were going to hit on them because you were seeing someone. Now that you're not seeing anyone anymore, they are worried you're going to start hitting on them. Maybe you've had a personality shift after the breakup and aren't the same person to be around. In a lot of breakups, the friends divide. Sometimes by the friends, sometimes by the people who broke up. It's weird and sad. A woman miss another woman who left one of my husband's friends. She and I were really close and spent lots of time together without our husbands. For whatever reason, when she left her marriage, she ghosted me. It's done. It seemed really unnecessary. Were they his friends first? Or were they your friends first? Probably not popular, but a rule of thumb for me is I don't mix my relationship and friendship. I have no desire for my partner to be friends with my friends. I want them to get along and be friendly, but my friends are mine and yours are yours. Having this guide, I've never had issues with losing girlfriends after a breakup or them feeling conflicted and choosing me over my partner. When you broke up, you altered the social context. These friends apparently have a preference for the context in which you were a part of a particular couple. Find new friends based upon who you were as an individual, not who you were as half of a couple. Question: did you have any hangouts with these women without your GF present? There are several possibilities. One, they didn't feel as close to you as you did to them, and saw you as their friend's partner, not their friend. This is more common than you'd think. Two, they considered you safe to have as a friend while you were in a relationship, but not anymore for whatever reason. Three, the breakup wasn't as painless as you thought it was, and something your ex said made them distance themselves from you. Speaking as a woman, I can tell you there's this unspoken vibe sometimes where, after a breakup, people just assume boundaries have shifted. A lot of girls are conditioned to avoid anything that could remotely look like they are moving in on someone after a breakup, even if they have zero interest in you like that. It's honestly exhausting, but that's just how society wires us. If you've never hung out with these friends without your ex, then it's weird for them to still be close to you. Something that I have not seen is that they might not want to offend your ex. If they were friends with your ex first, hanging out with you might offend your ex. Also, your ex might think that they are flirting with you and get angry. Also, they might not want to give you the impression that you have possibilities with them. It's not uncommon for friends, especially women, to pull back after a breakup. There are a few reasons this might happen. For some, it can feel awkward or complicated, especially if they are also friends with your ex. They might worry about taking sides or simply not know how to navigate the new dynamics. Kinda need to know the genders of people involved to answer this. Why are you leaving this info out? I knew before I even filed for divorce that I would likely never see or hear from our mutual friends again, and I was right. I went to his funeral decades later, and there were the wives. Their spouses or otherwise exes were all either deceased or absent. The wives were really glad to see me at my ex funeral, and we had conversations before and after the service, but they didn't try to rekindle anything even after I moved back to the area. Other people have commented on how they might be choosing to stay friends with your ex rather than you, even though it may feel to you like they shouldn't have to pick sides. There are lots of other reasons this could happen. The post-breakup period in particular can be very socially sensitive, so some girls just might want to avoid getting entangled in that. Even just the fact of being single can change the way that people interpret things. If you are definitely not available, and you ask a friend if they want to join you for some activity, that's pretty clearly not a date. Once you're single, it's maybe a date whether you're calling it that or not. Also, your own vibe might have changed some. We aren't always super aware of subtle cues in our own behavior. But even when breakups are mutual, they can still be emotionally challenging. If you were feeling a need for love and affection, that emotional need could easily have shown up in your communications with your female friends in ways that you didn't necessarily intend. Breakups, ruining friendships quicker than a dropped ice cream cone.